All right, it says I'm live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know, and we will get into it. Let me pop the chat out, and I am super excited for this race. All right, let's see. All right, chat's loading, so a second. I saw quite a few of you were already in the chat chatting it up. So, what is up? Kirk says, "Any other luck we can get?" Certainly. I mean, we can have the right strategy, but we still need some luck to go our way for sure. All right, so let's just see where, if you guys can hear me or not, and then I will get started. All right, looks like we're good. You guys can hear me. Cool. What's up? What is up, Dustin? What's up, Jay? Good afternoon. Evening here, but what is up? Clocking in, Casey. Yep. I feel like we're going to have less people than usual because UFC's on tonight, and then it's Saturday, so fortunate, but clear as a bell. Good. I've made sure that this looks pretty good since the one fiasco we had where nothing was working. Chris Palmer says, everyone hit the like button. I agree. Helps me out. I really do appreciate it. Sharp says, man, I want rain. Not me. I don't want rain. I want a night race tonight, so you're on your own there. What is up, Paper? What's up, Susan? What's up, Briz? Daytona, let's go. Yeah, I am super excited for this race. It's going to be very fun. What is up, Terry? I saw there's some questions earlier, which I'll try to get to, but just letting everyone hop in. Let's see. Lorenzo says Rick Ware will finish 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be something, wouldn't it? What's up, Peter? Let's see. Chris Austin's in. Gerald's in. What's up, Kelly? Just let people roll in, then we'll get to it. Yeah, I agree. No rain. I don't want rain tonight. Nope. Appreciate that, Gerald. Hit the like button on your way in. I agree. What's up, Sean? I mean, I don't really have to go in depth on this slate. I already went over the preview, and I'll just be saying the same things over and over again. You guys get the idea. We're stacking the back for the most part. You're taking your picks from guys starting from 1 through 12 for the most part. Rarely, but for the most part, we're stacking the back. But I will answer some questions if you guys have specific 1v1s, or we can talk a little bit more strategy as well. But figured we'd come in and hang out for a little bit. And Nicholas, what's up? I wanted to tell you, you told me your DK username for the contest, and I could not find it. So I apologize. I just couldn't find it. And Kirk says, now let's just, I agree. I don't really think I need to go too in-depth here. I figure we could just chit-chat, answer some questions, and I will try to. Sharp says, Chris, thanks for the invite, and I subscribed. Oh, appreciate that, Sharp. Thank you. I'm glad you got in the contest. Also, I wanted to mention one thing with the contest. I thought I made it winner take all. Like, I made one contest, and it wasn't winner take all, so I was like, shoot, I got to make another one. So I made another one, and then it did it again. So it's a top 20 payout. I do apologize for that, but I'm going to try to make it winner take all next time. Kyle says, you're my hero. You're my hero also, Kyle. What is up? What's up, other CP? Chase, what's up? Gerald says, FC is only letting me make 13 lineups with my current exposures. That's not good. I remember when I was making lineups a little bit ago, it was limiting me to around 30 or 70, but I had to make a couple of switches and ended up working out. I have a very large player pool. I'm talking 35 players this weekend, or drivers this weekend. Kirk says, forgot about the DK here this week. Yeah, although unfortunately I didn't make a winners take all on accident, so oopsie on me, but at least it's a 20% payout. That's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, some people, I mean, I wanted to make it winners take all just because it's our little tournament, but I agree overall it's a better tournament with the 20% payout, but yeah, I know what you mean though. Jason says, where's McLeod? I'm boycotting. I know you love McLeod. I know you love McLeod, but no McLeod. Okay, so I should probably start answering some questions a little bit. So Kyle Massey says, and if you asked the question earlier and I don't see it, just ask it again. I don't care if you repeat the question, just don't spam the chat. It's fine. But because I can't, sometimes I just miss a question, and it's not because I'm ignoring it. Sometimes I just don't see it. Okay, let's see. Headhunter Racing says, so I'm assuming you mean who do you like in the 7K group? So let's go to the 7K range. I think, so the obvious answer here is Ross Chastain. He's starting 36th, and look, it's as simple as this. I can't go too in-depth this week. It's just you play the place differential, guys. It's just how it works at Daytona. I already showed you guys the optimal lineups the past 6 races at Daytona recently. You guys get the idea by now. But Chastain, he'd be my highest in that group. I mean, starting 36, I mean, he's a fine option. He's got an average finish of 21.5 here, averaging 10 place differential spots per race. He's the obvious answer. Then Christopher Bell starting 23rd. It's basically the farther back they're starting, the better play they are for the most part. It's really just as simple as that for the most part. But Chastain and Bell are my favorite in the 7K range. Whoops. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Kyle says, what would your approach to a 20 max be this week? So in 150 max, I spread my exposure all the way out because I have the ability to, so I'm going to try to cover my butt as many ways as I possibly can. But in 20 max, I'd be more inclined to go heavier on my favorite drivers. So like, let's just say, this is not what I have, but let's just say I had 50% not McLeod, 50% Brendan Gaughan today. I might end up going like 60-70% in 20 entry max. And if I have like, say I have 10%, 5 to 10% Jimmy Johnson today in 150 max, I'd probably feel fine just having 0% 20 max, if that answers your question at all. So I'd go heavier on my favorite plays and I'd have less hedges. Chase says, not going to lie, I'm excited about the 20% payout. Oh, good. I was afraid some people were going to be like, why didn't you make it winners take all? So I'm glad a couple of people don't mind that. Susan says, is there anyone in the back you don't like? I mean, not really, but I don't have much ownership on these guys like Quinn Houff, Poole, Hill, Davison, Balicki. I mean, I have a little bit of ownership on them, but nothing too crazy. I don't have like 60% Balicki just because he's starting 39th. I mean, the car still sucks, and he could certainly lose the draft, but as long as there's wrecks, these guys should be fine plays. But I don't like them as much as guys like, Ty Dillon, Ryan Preece, because those guys, I mean, they're going to stay in the pack, or the draft, I should say. Let's see. Chris Palmer says McDowell or Preece in cash games. I would go McDowell just because McDowell's got an excellent history here at Daytona. I know Preece is starting 2 spots further back, but I mean, McDowell's been an all-star here, to be honest. He's averaging nearly 50 Draftkings points per race. He's got 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 11.7 place differential spots per race. I mean, starting 26 isn't like an elite PD play, but look, he should be able to ride around in the back for a while and just probably get another top 15, potentially a top 10 here. So do like Michael McDowell there over Ryan Preece, but I have similar ownership on both today. Brett says, is there any spots left in the DK tourney? There is not. It actually filled, I think, at 4:30. So I apologize if I missed your comment and didn't invite you. I super apologize, but if you want in, it's now full, so I do apologize for that as well. Roshan says, how do you feel about Elliott? So Elliott, I think he's a cash game lock. You play him in cash because, look, if your Rex out gets you negative 30, it's not going to matter because he's going to be one of the highest one drivers. So he doesn't like make a difference in cash games, but if you fade him in cash games and he goes off, you're dead. So you play him in cash. In tournaments, I don't hate being right on the field or even with the field or underweight because there's a good chance he can get caught up into a wreck. I mean, if you're looking at his numbers at Daytona, he's got an average finish here of 26.3, 0 top 10, 0 top 15s, and only 2 top 20s. So he's going to be very high owned. There's a good chance he's the highest owned driver on the slate, him or Brendan Gaughan. And I don't mind being underweight on Chase Elliott because, look, he's going to be an aggressive driver. He's going to try to work his way through the front, and there's a decent chance he'll get caught up into a wreck. Meanwhile, guys like Brendan Gaughan, Ross Chastain, these guys are going to ride around in the back and pretty much guarantee us positive place differential points. So don't mind being underweight on Chase Elliott, but excellent cash game play today. Mark says, what's up, Chris? Nice night for racing and making some money. I agree, Mark. GPP, DK, Elliott, Gaughan, Stenhouse, Ty Dillon, Buescher. I like that. It was really chalky until you got the Buescher. I like Buescher in tournaments today a lot because I think starting 17th, he may go a bit overlooked. Where's his price tag again? Yeah, he's only 6,000, which price doesn't matter. But his numbers at Daytona and just super speedways in general are pretty good. So I'm hoping people overlook him at the 17th place starting position. But he's got an average finish of 12.8 here, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. I like Buescher a lot in tournaments today. I'm not going overboard on him because he is starting 17th, but he's certainly a guy I like quite a bit in tournaments, and I don't think he's going to have that much ownership either. Jim says, Chris, what are the 4 main players for this race? Pretty much anybody, I mean, to be honest. But if you mean like the chalk guys, it's going to be Gaughan, Stenhouse, Chase Elliott, and probably Ross Chastain. Greg says, hit the like button. I agree, Greg. Greg is a smart man. Casey says, dark horse to win this race. I kind of like, is MDB a dark horse? I actually saw Bob picked him, I think a couple of minutes ago before I got on the live. I was looking at Twitter and saw Bob picked MDB to win, but I kind of had a little feeling of MDB as a long shot. Someone asked me their favorite long shot bets, and I included MDB in there, and I also think a guy like Chris Buescher or Michael McDowell are decent long shots as well. Wyatt says, how much Ricky Stenhouse you playing, Chris? A decent amount. He's one of my highest owned drivers. I'm going to be a little bit overweight in the field, but again, it's just, he's going to be aggressive, and it could be wreckers or checkers for Stenhouse, so you got to be careful. But super speedways are his bread and butter. Very good at these, so I think starting 31st, he's one of the best plays on the entire slate. And my projections love him as well. Oops. Sorry, the chat went all the way down. I got to go back up. Man, you guys got a lot of questions, which is good. Let's see. Okay, Dustin says McDowell, Ty Dillon, like it, Gone, almost said Gone, Ricky, Chastain, and Elliott in cash. That's my main lineup. I'm just telling you that right now. That's the lineup I'm using in the contest today, so no one else steal it. McDowell, Ty Dillon, Gone. I mean, it's just going to be really, really chalky. I would assume that might be the highest owned lineup today. Maybe. Gerald says, help us with exposures, please. My exposures are on Patreon, so I'm not going to give out all my exposures here, but they're all there. They're all there. But, yeah, I think you pretty much just stack the back guys for the most part. Simple as that. Nigel says, one guy up front or two. I mean, I have my builds at 0 to 2 guys up front, and that's in the so I have 0 to 2 in the top 12, and then like 0 to 3 in the top 20, 23 or 24. So, I mean, you don't have to have a guy up front, but in tournaments, I don't mind taking stabs at one. So let's take a look at the optimal lineups again. I'll just take you guys on a little trip here, which if you guys watched the preview video, you already know this, but let's look at the past previous optimal lineups at Daytona. We've had 0 guys in the top 12. Again, 0 guys in the top 12. 1 guy in the top 12. 0 in the top 12. 1 in the top 12. And 1 in the top 12. So pretty much, with 0 to 1 drivers in the top 12. I stretched it to 0 to 2 just because I really like Blaney and Hamlin. So I don't know if I actually have any lineups with both Hamlin and Blaney in the same lineup. But if I do, I don't hate it because, they could finish 1-2 and they get a little bit of PD upside. But for the most part, you're going to want like 0 to 1 drivers up front. Let's see. Ron says, how about Johnson today? I wish he was starting a little bit further back, but, he's one of the bubble drivers, so I don't hate it, but I'm not really in love with Johnson today, to be honest. I just want the PD plays. Let's see. Jason says, stack the back, just do it. I agree. Sounds like the tornado siren's going off at my house. That wouldn't be good. Joseph says, do you think today's race will be a wreck fest like last night was? I would assume. I mean, it's the last regular season race. We got guys in the bubble. It should be chaotic. So I'm looking forward to a hopeful wreck fest tonight. Hopefully everyone stays safe, though. I want a safe wreck fest. Let's see. Sharp says, we have NBA, UFC, and NASCAR all live together around 6:45. I also have MLB, too, so that's another one, which I'll have to make some MLB lineups when I get off here. But, yeah, definitely a busy night in sports. Should be a fun day. Mark says, sorry I sent my message by accident. DK, GPP, Elliott, Gone, Stenhouse, Ty Dillon, JJ, Yaley, Busher. So it's the same thing, but you just forgot to put Yaley, but I think that's still fine. I think that's a good job. The Briz says, Suarez or LaJoy higher finishing position? Suarez seems sneaky today. Oh, man, I would say LaJoy just because he's got a pretty good history here just riding in the back and getting a good finish. Like, let's look at his numbers really quick. So, again, price doesn't matter, but he is cheap. But he's got an average finish of 19th here, and he's got 2 top 10s, 3 top 15s, and 4 top 20s. Compare that to Suarez, he's only got 1 top 20 here the past 5 races. But I will say, I think him being in the lawnmower is going to help him this year because he's going to be forced to just ride around in the back for the most part. And I want my guys in the back. Like, you guys, if you're stacking the back today, your lineups are going to suck for a long time. Until there's some wrecks, your lineups are going to suck. So don't think you're dead. If your lineups suck early on, that's usually a good thing because usually if the big one happens, your guys are going to move right on up. So just be prepared for your lineups to not look that good for a while unless the wreck happens early. Sean says, what's the best strategy for GPPs at Daytona? Stack the back, really. I mean, you can take a stab at a driver starting up inside the top 12, but for the most part, you're going to want most of your exposure coming from the back. Sharp says, Black Panther brother died yesterday. I never saw that movie, but from what I've read today, he seemed like a really cool guy, and I'm apparently a great actor. So I haven't seen any of his movies, so I couldn't comment on that, but yeah, that is terrible what happened. I believe he was in the Jackie Robinson movie. But I might have saw that movie. I forget. But yeah, that's terrible, obviously. Never like to see that. Lorenzo says Suarez can make the playoffs if he was in top 30 in points. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Oh, you're welcome, headhunting, but I forget what I said. But I'm glad it was helpful. Kyle says, who's your most owned drivers, Chris? Well, I don't want to give that away. But, I mean, it's the obvious choices. Like, the chalk choices today are Gone, Stenhouse, and Elliott. Sincere says, I'll take $1 in your tournament. LOL. Feel good. Good. Hope so. Let's see. Scary Flying says Bell or Ty Dillon. I'll go with Ty Dillon there. Ty Dillon's good at Daytona. He's good at Talladega. I mean, he finds a way to get it done. I like both, though, but I have more Ty Dillon. Roshan says, why not Boyer, the favorite for 7K? Always runs good. Well, I mean, he can run as good as he wants, but if he wrecks, I mean, he's going to be a worse play than Chastain if Chastain wrecks. So it's all about the place differential upside. Like, I have some Clint Boyer today, but starting for Kevin Harvick's on the pole today, I think he's a terrible play. Like, it's just all about the place differential. Like, I'd much rather play Chastain than Kevin Harvick today. I'd rather play Corey LaJoie than Kevin Harvick today. Like, you don't play the guy sitting up front at Super Speedway. Let's see. Sharp says, most known Chase Elliott, buddy. Yeah, it's probably going to be Chase Elliott. Him or Brendan Gaughan. But I do think because of the name value of Chase Elliott, it will be Chase Elliott. Should be close, though. Gary says, in cash games, Blaney or Jones? Personally, neither. I mean, Jones, I'd rather go Jones because he's starting 20th. But I'd really just try to stay further back than that. But I'd go Jones. Headhunter Racing says, you're on Newman this week. I am. Newman actually has the best average finish at Daytona the past 6 races, and if you expand that to the past 10 races at Super Speedways, he's just the guy that knows how to stay alive until the end of the race. And sorry, I saw a question that got me down, and that made me look for a second. But I mean, Newman, he just finds a way, and he almost won the Daytona 500. Don't forget that. He got into the horrific crash. I mean, Blaney was right on his bumper. I mean, Blaney was trying to make the pass. It wasn't Blaney's fault. I mean, he's just trying to win the race. Nothing you can do about that. But, I mean, Newman was on his way to pretty much winning the race. But unfortunate things happen. But he's very good at plate races. So, yeah, I like him. Again, price doesn't matter, but he is cheap. Starting 22nd. He's fine. Let's see. Big Richter says, so you don't like any of the first 10 drivers? Not really. I do have some of them in my lineups on my 150 max. I think I have some Bowman. He typically runs well here. Let's see, who else? I don't know if I have any Byron. I don't have Truex or Harvick. I have a little bit of Logano just because he's a good plate racer. But outside of that, I don't think I really have anyone in the... I might have a little bit of Almirola, but nothing crazy. Jason says, any interest in Harvick? If only like 5... I have 0. I'll be honest. I have 0 lineups with Harvick. I just don't see how it works out. I believe one time Stenhouse started in the pole at a Super Speedway, and he won the race, and he still wasn't optimal. So you don't need the pole sitter here. Timmy says, or Timmel, he says, is FC down? I don't know. Is it? I made my lineups earlier in the day, so it might be now. I'm not sure, though. Dude says, how would you construct roster lineups in a 100-person tournament? Do you mean in the tournament we're in? I would just play my cash line, to be honest. Like, I know it is a good chance you'll tie with people, but I just play my cash lineup and single entries. Tony says, do you have a record of which of the drivers in the back have finished the most races of this type? Yes. I do not have that on record with me, so I want to just say random stats to sound smart here, but I feel like Michael McDowell, Ty Dillon, I mean, they don't typically DNF at these tracks, but again, it's kind of random. I mean, you just got to get lucky, but I'd rather be lucky than good here, but I don't have that stat off the top. Father and Son Fishing says, what's up? I'm late, but my wife isn't, so I'm good. 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 I saw you were in the chat early on, and I forgot what you said, but so you were early, but you're just late now, which is fine. Hannah says, I like the back, but like the 22 to win. Yeah, I think Joey Logano's got a decent chance of winning. We know how good he is at plate races, and typically Penske runs pretty well. I mean, we saw at Talladega where Penske, was it Logano, I almost said Chase Elliott, Logano, Blaney, Keselowski, they were training 1, 2, 3 for most of the race, but Daytona can be a little bit more hectic than Talladega. But I think Logano is certainly a favorite to win. If I had to pick who I thought was going to win, I would say Hamlin, but Logano's right up there with them. Hannah says, also got Blaney in 22 over the field as well. Yeah, I mean, Penske typically runs very well here. You can also throw in MDB as well. Sharp says, you love Busch every week, Chris. Not this week. I have a little bit of Kyle Busch. Not much, but I have a little bit of Kyle Busch, but not this week. Not this week. Chase says he's starving. I'm not. I just ate, but I'll be hungry soon enough. Max says, I'm making my friend watch with me tonight as is his first NASCAR. I think it's going to be a good race for him to start. Hopefully it's not a snooze fest, but I can't imagine it will be. It should be pretty fun. I mean, sometimes it can be boring early on if they go single file, but near the end of the race, we should see some pretty good racing or at the end of the stages. Roshan says, I have Kyle or Jones win. Yeah, it could certainly happen. Could certainly happen. I would like Jones to win. That would be a nice story for him. I'm a Jones fan. So Oops, chat went all the way down. Sorry, 1 second. Oops. Okay, let's see. Sorry. Okay, he says MDB Dark Horse, I like it. Yeah, I guess Bob agrees too, so who knows. Plus, he's kind of Team Penske's, and they typically run well. Super Speedways, so. Father and Son says, I'm highly impressed with your Patreon. I joined last night. I've been following your videos all year. I kind of regret not subscribing sooner. Oh, appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you found all that stuff helpful. There's a ton of stuff on there. So I posted a spreadsheet tutorial video if you needed any questions answered on how to follow it as well. So check that out. Sharp says, put some coin on MDB and Stenhouse. Yeah, I don't know. I should have said Stenhouse. Stenhouse is certainly a threat to win this race as a dark horse, but I wasn't sure if I consider him a dark horse just because he's pretty darn good at super speedways. But yes, Stenhouse, MDB, I think those guys can certainly win this race. King Paid says, who needs a W to get into the playoffs? Pretty much all the guys in the bubble. We got Jimmy Johnson, Eric Jones, was it William Byron, if I remember correctly, MDB, so those kind of guys. Camden says, is McDowell starting too high? Can't believe I'm saying that. To be a cash game option, would you go Priest, Suarez, Yaley, Gase, or Poole instead? So I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is McDowell starting a little bit too high in 26? But look, I think he's just going to ride around, and he should be able to get a good finish. I mean, he's got an average finish of 11.8 here. I'll play him in cash games. I think he's fine. He's just one of those guys that just finds a way. Your long shot's Byron to win? I could see that. I could see that. He does have a top 5 here. I don't think I really have any Byron in my lineups, but no. Dustin says Blaney, Hamlin, gone. Busher, Newman, and Boyer in a single entry. Yeah, I think that's fine for tournaments. You got mostly in the back. Although you're pushing it with 2 guys in the top 12, and then you also have a guy starting, 14th for Boyer, so you're pushing it a little bit. I think you need a little bit more PD upside, just a little bit. I mean, I hate talking people off of lineups because, if it goes off, I'll feel bad, but I just feel like it's a little bit on the, it's a little iffy on the PD there, a little iffy, especially in a single entry. Sharp says, pull out your cutie. He's upstairs, though, and I have to leave, but he says hi to everybody. Max says, do you think I should play? Play what? Oh, chasing cash, or just go with a back marker? I'd play chasing cash. I mean, the back markers are obviously very safe, but they don't, for the most part, they don't have the potential to win this race. I mean, we saw Justin Haley win before, but that was pretty much because it got rain shortened. I would play chasing cash. I mean, look, if he sucks, but it's not going to matter because he'll be very high owned. Just think of him as a free square for the most part. Roshan says Jones makes it in over JJ and Hamlin crashes. Hey, I wouldn't mind if Jones makes it in. I got a decent amount of Jones today. And plus, I like Jones. Jay says Hamlin, Blaney, Ricky, Chastain, Newman. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I don't love playing 2 guys in the top 12, but I might have a couple of lineups like that. So, yeah, I think that's fine. And Hamlin and Blaney are my 2 favorite drivers that are starting near the front. So, I think that's a fine lineup. Landon says, hello, Chris. My driver starts in the 27th position. Hope he can get to the front. Better hope he gets to the front quick and avoids those wrecks. But, yeah, I like Chase today. Greg says, what drivers do you like starting between 10th and 20th position? So, off the top of my head, Blaney's 9th, so I was thinking he was 10th. But I like Denny Hamlin. He's starting 10th. Austin Dillon's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't really love any of these guys for the most part. I guess my favorites would be MDB, Hamlin, Busher, I guess, starting 17th. He's very good at super speedways, but, I mean, none of these guys really stand out. Boyer's fine, but I guess really it would just be Hamlin, Busher, and MDB. Sharp says, I haven't been to sleep yet. Lineups with Sal and Chris all night. You haven't been to sleep yet. It's 5 p.m. Goodness. Better get some sleep. Wyatt says, how much LaJoy? A little bit of LaJoy. I'm hoping he goes a little bit overlooked. I mean, LaJoy's very good at Daytona. I mean, look at his numbers. He's averaging 40 DraftKings points per race here, average finish of 19th, but 2 top 10s, 3 top 15s, and 4 top 20s. Starting 25th, he's probably going to get a bit overlooked, but I like being overweight on LaJoy. He's just going to hopefully ride around in the back all day and just avoid the, almost said the rain. I was looking at the chat, avoid the wrecks. Sharp says, Chris wants a wreck fest. I sure do. I would mind some safe wrecks. I don't want anyone getting hurt. I want some safe wrecks, though. Joseph says, any rain? I know there's rain in the area, but I was looking at the Google weather, which I don't know how obviously trustworthy that is, but it said like pretty much cloudy all night, so we'll see. Scrollo, something like that, says leaving about 6 to 8K on the table tonight. Yeah, I was looking at my fantasy cruncher lineups, and I scrolled all the way down to see what my least salary used lineup was, and I think it had like 15K left. There's a lot of money left there. MLB, I love MLB. It counts. We the People says Bell or Newman. I would go Newman just because he's very experienced with the super speedways and he's been very good at them. Jim says, how do you feel about Almirola? He's starting, what, 5th? I believe that's what it is, 5th. Let me check. Yeah, 5th. I mean, he's better at Dega. Like, if he was at Dega, I would have a little bit more interest, but at Daytona, he just hasn't been that great, and there's just really not much PD upside here. I have a little bit of Almirola just in case, but it's nothing important. Peter says, San Diego starting pitcher. Oh, really? Shoot, I'm going to have to update that when I get off the... I'm going to have to update the MLB spreadsheet once I get off of here. That always changes things. Who's on the mound, Peter? Please let me know. Father and Son says, what guys in the back should have the least exposure? Let's see. Quinn Houff, Timmy Hill. I mean, I want to say Davison. I mean, these guys just suck, but as long as there's Rex, they'll move up. But I guess Quinn Houff would be my lowest known back there. Father and Son says Suarez is a smart racer, slow car, but smart. Yeah, all he's got to do is just hang around back and avoid the wrecks and get a good finish. That's pretty much all he's got to do. Max says Yaley or Gase and Cash. I'd go Yaley there. Gerald says, this is my first time using FC for NASCAR. How many uniques and what percentage of randomness do you recommend? I didn't use any randomness, but I mean, you certainly could. I would maybe like 10 to 20%. As for uniques, I don't change that. So whatever it was normally, I think it's what, 1. So Dave says, I doubt the chat would mind if you took a second to verify the hurricane alarm isn't going off. Safety first. I think we're good though. I think it's sunny outside, so as long as there's nothing going out there, I think we're good. But I appreciate it. Curtis says Jones for the win. That'd be fun. I would not mind Jones winning. I mean, he won the Coke 400, I think, in 2018, if I remember correctly, and he's been fine at the super speedways. I think he finished, 5th at Dega a couple of months ago. So, what's up, Jason? I can't wait for you every weekend, man. Who's your pick to win, brother? Flat out, who is your guy? Oh, it's going to sound just chalky and boring, but I guess Hamlin. Decent chance he wins today, but a fun pick, I would like Jones or MDB to win today. I think that would be fun. Fun picks are Jones and MDB. The chalky, boring picks are like Logano or Hamlin. The Briz says, agree, Suarez drives smart, which comes in handy at Daytona for sure. I believe he's not yet DNF this season. Him and Kevin Harvick are the only guys not to, which is impressive. Tooch says, who would you absolutely not pick in the last 10 starting drivers? Okay, I was thinking you meant the top 10. So the last 10? Houff. I mean, if I had to pick one guy not to play in the back 10, I guess it'd be Houff. But even then, he's a little bit playable. Blake says Elliott or Jones in one entry GPP. Like Elliott, since it's a single entry. FE says, hey CP, what's up? Since I'm only using half my salary doing stack to back, should my enter fee be cut in half? You would think. That'd be nice. You can email DK and ask about that. What's up, Obi? I kind of keep forgetting to mention Newman as a dark horse to win. I mean, that can certainly happen. It just hasn't really crossed my mind, but it certainly would be a cool story if he won, too. But what's up, Obi? Glad you're in. Sincere says, what is plate races? So that would be, they put like a, they used to, they put like a restrictor plate on the engine or whatever it is. I mean, I'm not a huge car guy. I know how it works for DFS purposes, but it restricts it so where everyone's pretty much even on the field. So everyone's going to be driving in a tight pack, which, like, if you're watching last week, we saw Kevin Harvick just run away from the field. We're not going to see that today. It's going to be all tight. The lead should interchange, and the fast laps are completely random. That's the best explanation. But if you're looking at history for plate races, that would be Dega and Daytona. It's now a tapered spacer, something like that. Stup Lubach says, how much is too much to leave on the table? There's no such thing. No such thing as too much on the table. I have one lineup with 15K left. So you can do whatever you want there. I don't know what the bare minimum would be. I mean, you could go with like a Houff pool. Hill Yaley, I would recommend it, but I don't know how much money that would leave, but it would be a lot. Matt says Newman or McDowell. I'll go McDowell there, starting further back. Obi says, LOL cheater. What did I do? Oops. Chat went all the way down. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. Ron says, how much money did you leave on the table if you took the drivers in the back when making the lineups? I mean, I have 150, so I don't know exactly, but it range from I have some lineups with 50,000 used, and I have some lineups with like 35,000 used, so it's literally everywhere. Sharp says, Chris, side bet for $1 in your pool. PayPal tonight. I sent you the. Yeah, send me whatever it was. I'm sure I'll find it, but yeah, I'm down for whatever. Geriotic says, thoughts on Ricky Bobby? Shake and bake. Shake and bake's the only thing I can say there. Sharp says, DK friends, do you see him as a friend or Chris? Kurt Busch, you love him every week, buddy. Come on, Kurt Busch. I'm not a big Kurt Busch guy. Am I? I don't think so. I haven't really played too much Kurt Busch. But what's your name on DK again? I know you told me earlier, but I saw like 300 DK names today, so I'm not sure exactly what it was. Greg says, anybody moving to the back tonight? Now, as of right now, I have no idea, but if they do move to the back, it means nothing to me. I mean, it means nothing. Chase says, I'm watching with the new Chris Pennell fan, and first, that's me. Sure sounds weird saying my own name out loud. And first time in your DK tourney. Shout out to Kevin. Yeah, shout out to, believe, Kevin. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate that, and hope you enjoy your first DK contest today. And or I'm not sure how long you've been playing Draftkings, but welcome to the contest. My dad says Hamlin for the win. Big Hamlin fan, and I think he's got the best chance to win today. I mean, look, he's just super good at Daytona, and I mean, he's the chalk pig, but he's certainly not untouchable. He could very easily get into a wreck today. I mean, I believe last summer race at Daytona, I believe he started 7th, and I'm pretty sure he wrecked out. So, again, he's not untouchable, but he's my pick to win, I guess. Sharp says, good luck. I got to go, Chris. Oh, okay. Good luck. I hope you enjoy the race tonight. Get some sleep as well. You didn't get any sleep. Let's see. Obi says, who's most likely to wreck? I wish I knew. I mean, probably someone up top moving through the field. But I really don't know who would be the favorite to wreck tonight. If I knew who was most likely to wreck, we'd be very rich. Very, very rich. Mark says, last one, GPP, DK Hamlin, Stenhouse, Ty Dillon, Michael McDowell, Gone, and Chastain. That's awesome. It's an excellent lineup. Good job. Sharp says, I wish we all knew that one. Yeah, we'd be living on our own islands if we knew who was going to wreck tonight, for sure. Good luck, Chase. Appreciate it. Landon says, Ricky Stenhouse will cause the big one tonight. It's probably Rutgers or Checkers for Stenhouse. That's usually how it goes. Sharp says, got to run, busy night. Sharp for the win in the pool. Yeah, good luck, Sharp. Hope you do well, but not as well as me. Chase says, except you can, brother. Yeah, certainly. I didn't see it. I mean, I was getting a lot of notifications today, but as long as I see it and it's still there, I'll accept it. Notorious says, Chastain or Newman? Chastain. He's just safe for starting 36. Do I think Ryan Newman finishes higher than Chastain? Yeah, probably, but I'll go with Chastain for safety. Let's see. Drew says, I went to play Stenhouse and Chastain in cash, but they will both 100% cause wrecks. Just need them to cause the wrecks and get away. For sure. I mean, look, if we're playing Stenhouse, we're rooting for him to wreck the field. We just want him to be clean. We want him to take out everybody. Chris, appreciate it, Chris. Sean says, do you fade Elliott in GPPs? I don't mind being underweight. I don't think he's like a guy you need to play 70, 60% of Chase Elliott. I don't mind being underweight because, look, he's got an equal chance of wrecking like everybody else, and he's going to be very highly owned. Like a guy like Chastain and Gone or Stenhouse can easily outscore Chase Elliott today. So not a must. You don't full fade him because, look, if it goes off, you're dead. But I don't mind being a little bit underweight. Personally, I'm trying to be even on the field with Chase Elliott because I don't have a strong lean either way. Let's see. Dan says, thoughts on Chastain being in a trash Spire car without Ganassi helping in a car. McLeod constantly dropped from draft pack at Dega. I think he'll be okay here. I mean, he's got a good history at Daytona. I know circumstances can be a little bit different, but we're just really wanting him to ride around in the back. I think he should be able to stay in the pack. But even then, I think he'll be fine. Joseph says, are you usually too busy during the season with DFS to go to a race? I've never been to a race. Personally, I'm not sure if I'd ever want to go because I just really enjoy watching sports on TV. Like going to baseball games and NFL games are fun, but I just love being on the couch watching on the TV, to be honest. Then you got your own snacks, but I don't really live close to a track anyway. And plus, I would be too busy doing DFS content, and I wouldn't be able to do the live stream either, so that'd be a couple of negatives. But, I wouldn't mind. I mean, going to Daytona would be fun, especially at night. I mean, probably would be the one race I'd want to go to, or Bristol or something like that. I love the super speedways and I love the short tracks. So I guess if I had to pick, I'd say Bristol, Martinsville, Daytona, or Talladega. Let's see. Chris Arrowwood says, first time ever playing NASCAR DFS. Ooh, welcome. Welcome in. What approach would you use with FanDuel since place differential doesn't add as much as DraftKings? Cash lineup? Wow. I don't play on FanDuel, so the strategy is probably going to be a little bit weird over there. I still would think it's place differential for the most part. If anyone's playing FanDuel, you can try to help him out because this is his first time. I don't go in blind. So I don't play DraftKings, but I would assume you're still looking at place differential for the most part. I think it's, half a point for PD? But that's still half of a point you're going to lose for guys that are going to, wreck out. So I would still assume you go the PD route. Guys like Stenhouse, Gunn, Chase Elliott, I would assume are still the top plays over on FanDuel. I would assume. Because you're not worried about dominator points in the slightest. Repiv says Byron top 10. Yeah, I mean, even if he does, it's not going to be enough. So really not on my radar for DFS purposes. Frederick says, or Dude, I know you like to be called Dude, any love for my boy Kurt Busch? I have a little bit of Kurt Busch today, starting 13th. He's kind of one of those meh plays, but the thing about the meh plays, they're going to go overlooked, and there's even the optimal, so I have a little bit of exposure between all those guys in the teens. Baez is pitching for the Padres? Oh boy, I got some updating to do, don't I? Not like it really matters, it's Coors Field, so I would assume he's probably still going to get smashed. Oh. Sorry, hold on, chat went down. Peter says, relief pitcher right-hander Michael Baez. He has 4K bullpen game for San Diego. Well, I would assume, doesn't really change. I mean, I still like the Rockies. So, certainly feel free to load up on Coors again. Conscious says it's called a governor, restricts fuel intake or air intake. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Tooch says everyone should be hitting the like button right now. I agree, and he was aggressive about it, like 6 exclamation points. So I definitely agree with Tooch. Hunter says he's at the track, but had to tune in to get my last lineups. And thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you can enjoy the race, Hunter. Tell the rain to stay away as well. Shane says Denny Hamlin for the win. I could certainly see it. I mean, he's probably the best choice to pick for the win. He's the Vegas favorite, but it's just no fun saying Hamlin's going to win. I want to see a fun winner. I do. I feel like it's Hamlin and Harvick every single week. I want a fun winner tonight. Natalie says thoughts on I skipped one. Gase or LaJoy GPP? I'd go LaJoy. Natalie says thoughts on Kenseth, experienced driver here. Yeah, I think he's just, what is he starting? Is it 17th, I believe? Or starting 19th. He's a guy you can sprinkle in, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just not too into Kenseth. I'd rather play Ty Dillon starting 29th. I'd rather play Busher. I'd really pretty much rather play everyone below him, but you can sprinkle him in. But if you're putting 1 to 3 lineups, would not play Matt Kenseth. Let's see. Conscious says Newman or Stenhouse, who scores more points? Probably Stenhouse. Just got to hope you avoid that wreck. FE says going to be a great night. Barbecue, beers, and Daytona. This is America. Definitely sounds like a stereotypical American night. Yep. Good luck to everyone. I hope everyone gets bags. I agree. Hope everyone does very well. Netstar Forever says lots of good value today, I think. Yeah, but value, you don't really need. Salary doesn't mean anything today. You can pretty much build whatever the heck you want. Don't have to worry about salary. Conscious says Chase and Joey will wreck. Yeah, there's some bad blood there, isn't there? Certainly could. Chase says, okay, it's settled. Going to Chili's with the white before the race. Talk later. Hope you win huge today. Enjoy Chili's. I've never been there, so I don't know what the food's like, but hopefully it's good, and hope you enjoy the race. You're welcome, Obi. Good luck, but yeah, good luck back to you, Obi. Appreciate you stopping by. Brett says, who doesn't need to gain any stage points tonight? I don't know the entire list, but I mean, guys that have already won races are already locked in. But I really wouldn't be worried about anything like that. I mean, they all want to win the race. Gerald says 192 and only 86 likes. Hit the like button to it now. Appreciate it, Gerald. Appreciate it. I do agree. Ron says, would you play Harvick tonight? I would not. And looking at Fantasy Cruncher, he's got like 30% projected ownership. I highly doubt that's the case. But if that's true, I'll be very happy because I think he's a horrendous play. Like, he might be in the lead for a while tonight, but I mean, it's just, I don't see how he ends up making the optimal today. He's going to have to lead like almost the entire race and win just to outscore these PD guys. So I would not play Harvick. Cameron says average money left over. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think most of my lineups are probably around 5 to 10K left, probably, if I had to guess. Jack says, why was McLeod snubbed from this race? He could have easily won. I don't know about that. Headhunter Racing says, JR Headhunter for your DK name. Oh, I apologize if the contest is full, so I can't invite anybody else. But people were quick. I mean, last week it took a while for the contest to get filled, but I think everyone tried to get in really quick and got their usernames in the comments, so I invited them. Zen says Stenhouse or Jones for cash. I'd go Stenhouse for sure, because you get the extra 11 place differential spots. I agree, Conscious. Hit the like button. It helps me out. FV says, dude, you have to go to a race. Maybe one day. I'd prefer to go to a fun race. I don't want to go to like a Michigan or a 1.5 mile. So, I want to go to a fun super speedway or a short track. But I don't live close to any of them, so it's the issue. Daniel says, what is NASCAR? NASCAR, cars drive in circles, and you get fantasy points for how they finish. It's the best I can explain it, I guess. Let's see. Oops, chat went down, sorry. Father and Son Fishing 101 says, great thing about my job is I'm a promoter for a dirt track, and I get tickets to Michigan International Speedway from UMP every time NASCAR is here. COVID screwed me this year, of course. Oh, that sucks, but that's cool. Cool, you get free tickets and stuff, for sure. Daniel says, Chris, thanks for the baseball content, making a ton in cash this season. Good. If you mean like cash games or just cash in general, but yeah, I pretty much focus on cash games, so I feel like I do pretty well giving out like the chalk plays and how to build cash game lineups. So glad to hear that, Daniel. Glad to hear that. Last night was fun. I mean, if you played last night's MLB slate, that was offense went off and the pitching went off. I mean, it was just a really fun slate to play. Matt says Elliott or Hamlin. Elliott overall, just because he's safer. Hunter says they are playing an episode of Lost Speedways at the. Oh, are they? Is there a lot of people at the track? What's the seating like? Is it still like limited, I assume? Elo Loco, what about Brendan Gaughan? I feel like no one's asked me a Brendan Gaughan question, but I feel like that's because everyone knows just to play Brendan Gaughan today. But yeah, I mean, he's arguably the best play on the slate, Brendan Gaughan. Love him a lot. Obi says Emmernet. I don't understand. Sorry. Max says, should I go to Taco Bell with my winnings? I'm thinking of ordering 100 shredded chicken quesadilla melts. I've never been to Taco Bell, I don't think. Maybe once when I was in elementary school, but I've never been, so I don't know. But if you like Taco Bell, sure, go for it. Dirty Bird says, who needs to make the playoffs that's on the bubble? Jones, Johnson, MDB, those kind of guys. They're on the bubble. Donnie says, boogity, boogity, boogity. I agree. Let's go racing. Blake says, been watching you every week since March. Thanks for all the time you put into this DFS, Chris. Thanks, Blake. Appreciate that. You've been here for a while. It's awesome. SAK says, Newman, MDB, and Chastain. Yeah, I'll find plays. If you ask me to pick one, I would say Chastain. But in general, I like all three. That Donkey says, most raw points from Elliott, Stenhouse, or Hamlin. Strange group, I know. I would say raw points, probably Stenhouse. Probably Stenhouse there. Blake says, any love for the Dillon brothers? I like Ty more than I like Austin. Both are playable, but I have very low amounts of Austin Dillon today, but I have a lot of Ty Dillon. Let's see. FE says, send me an invite for your Darlington contest. Okay, yeah, sure will. I was like, Darlington, what? But yeah, certainly do that. Jack says, were you chalk or a fade for when you played sports in high school? Well, I was actually all Ohio quarterback, so I would assume I was a chalk pick most nights. I did pretty well. We went 10-0 my senior year. We did pretty good. Now, I had a couple of fade games for sure, but I think for the most part, I did solid. Obi says, Chris, please invite me to all contests you host. For sure, I'll try to. As long as I can get you in time, I will certainly do so. Let's see. That Donkey says, most raw points from Gase and below, excluding LaJoy. Most raw points from Gase and below, excluding LaJoy. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's tough. I would just guess I would say Yaley. I guess I'd say Yaley. I mean, he's been fine at Daytona. Average finish at 15, 53 Draftkings points per race. I mean, it's only a 2-race sample size, but he's been fine. So I would say Yaley, but then maybe Bilicki, starting 39th. But don't love really any of those guys, but they're fine. They're fine. Let's see. Peter says, I am playing 6 lines for some reason. My favorite line is Hamlin, Blaney, Joey. I'm playing 6 lines for some reason. I'm playing Hamlin, Blaney, Joey, MDB, McDowell, Busher. I know stack the back, but my gut, it's very, very risky, and just on average, that's not going to be optimal. But hey, you never know. It's 2020. It can be a little bit crazy. Father and Son Fishing 101 says, whoa, hold the stream. You never been to Taco Bell? Not that I can remember. Not that I can remember. Have you ever been? I've never drank before, so I've never been drunk at 2 a.m. Never drank before ever. Just water and Propel for me. Max says, thanks for all your help, Chris. You're welcome, Max. No problem at all. Effie says, sorry, dude, I live 30 minutes from Kansas Speedway, 1.5 miles. Still great. Oh, still cool. I mean, I've never been to a race. I don't know what the experience is like, but let's see. Jack says, was DFS by the numbers? That's Andrew. He does the UFC content on his channel. Was DFS by the numbers it was chalk back in high school too. So he was the tight end, and I think he scored senior year. I think he had like 6-7 touchdowns. I mean, he's good. We just didn't throw to the tight end too often, so he's more of a GPP play. But he's definitely had his upside games for sure. Definitely had his upside games. Let's see. Glenn says, should make $1 contest and let DK pay out based on number that enter. It's kind of what I did, but it's more of a $3 contest now. Let's see. Wes says, thoughts about DK pricing up drivers in the back and still leaving money on the table? Feels weird with them priced up already. Yeah, it's totally fine. I mean, just play the guys in the back and don't worry at all about salary today. Like, you shouldn't even be looking or having salary dictated on how you build your lineups, because it's like, it means nothing here. It means nothing. Fox says, is the DK contest full? Yes, it is. I apologize. I think it filled around 4:30 today. Let's see. Obi says, LOL, crazy 2020 for sure. I would not be surprised about anything that happens in this race. Would not be surprised. Alo Loco, past winner? What are we talking about? Past winner of what? I forget. I'm trying to look up in the chat and see what you said, but I'm not seeing it. If you could clarify that, I'd appreciate it. Jason says, never been to Chili's, Taco Bell, or a NASCAR race? Come on, I'm sorry, I'm killing you guys. I'm sorry. I don't do much. I like to stay at my house. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Dave says, good luck tonight. Back at you, Dave. Appreciate you watching. Concha says, Newman or Ty Dillon, who scores more? I would just say Ty Dillon because he's starting further back. Jack says, how come you didn't get a scholarship if you were all Ohio? Well, I wasn't first team. I was like second or third team, but I still went to a smaller school, so probably why, but it's okay. I don't really miss playing. I like doing the DFS stuff now. It's fun. And plus, I don't have to get scrambled egg brain, get tackled and stuff. But definitely had fun doing it at the time. I loved it. Still love football, though. That Donkey says, anyone you like more than Gone and Chastain other than Stenhouse or Elliott? Rob points again. No problem. Let's see. Rob points between those guys? I don't even know. I would guess. So who are the people? Gone and Chastain other than Stenhouse or Elliott? I mean, not really Rob points-wise. I mean, Ty Dillon maybe, starting 29th, and also Michael McDowell, but it's pretty much about it. Those are pretty much the best Rob points play that you mentioned. FE says, great stuff as always, Chris. Thanks. CP, shake and bake, baby. Yep. Thank you for stopping by, FE. I do appreciate that. I'm going to have to learn your name once. You can tell me, because I keep calling you FE, but I have no idea what your actual name is. A Loco says, you can said the past winner. The past winner? Of what? What? Thomas says, what'd you think of this lineup for Turney, Kyle Busch, Jones, Gone, Stenhouse, Newman, Ty? I think that's fine. I think people aren't going to really be too much on Kyle Busch today, which I get because he's not that great at super speedways, but he's going to be starting right in between, well, not in between, but right beside Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin, which I would assume those two guys are going to get most of the ownership up top, and then Kyle Busch will kind of be the forgotten guy, so I don't hate going to his way in tournaments. Alan says, Bubba thoughts for GP. I like Bubba today. He's actually pretty good at Daytona if you're looking at his numbers. I forget what his price tag is. I usually know everyone's price tags, but I don't really care about the prices this week, so I kind of just forget where everyone's price is. But yeah, Bubba's 6,600. Doesn't matter, but he's got an average finish of 16.5 here, top 5 top 15s. He's been pretty consistent, so I like Bubba. I think he's a fine option. I have a decent amount of him. Fox says, let's get this yeast. Sure, let's get the yeast. Jason says, do you think Draftkings should start pricing guys so salary doesn't matter? I actually prefer it not to matter because I think people try to even out their lineup like salary-wise, which I would hope people try to because I think the more salary you use in your lineup, probably the worse your lineup is. So, and people tend to try to balance out their lineup. So I actually like how they do it because leaving money on the table, people don't like to do that, but it's how the better plays actually are here. Let's see. John says, would it be good strategy to stack not necessarily by teammates, but by manufacturers? You could. I mean, personally, I'm not really caring too much about that because I just kind of want the guys in the back for the most part. I'm not really looking to stack anything, but I don't hate that. I mean, Ford, Team Penske, I would say you could stack it, but I don't really want to because they're all starting up top, so I would say no, but I did that for Talladega because Talladega is a little bit different from Daytona, but I really wouldn't try to stack anything specifically. CS says, do you think Draftkings actually knows what they're doing? The bleed money left and right. Also, CS, I didn't reply to your comment a couple of days ago. I apologize, I forgot. I just ran that through my head. I saw you left a comment, then I was going to reply, and I forgot. So, sorry about that. Jason says, thanks again for your time. No problem. No problem at all. Thomas says, that's what I figured. Kyle Busch might be a little low with Elliott getting a lot of ownership. Starting 11th isn't that bad. Yeah, I think Kyle Busch is fine in tournaments today. He's not typically good at Daytona, but he did recently do really well here. I believe that wasn't when Eric Jones won. I think it was when Denny Hamlin won, right? And because Joe Gibbs finished 1, 2, 3, it was like Hamlin, Busch, Jones. But I think Busch is okay, but not someone you want to go too crazy on. All right, I pretty much caught up to the chats. I will get out of here in a couple of minutes as long as there's not many more questions. But Dave says, Hamlin or Elliott, who do you like better? Elliott's the safer play. I mean, Hamlin's got that race-winning upside, but so does Elliott. And he's starting 27th, so I'll go with Elliott there. But I guess I caught up to the chat, so I think I'll end up heading out of here. I'm going to take a drink of water. If there's another question, I'll answer it. But if not, we can probably head out. I know I'm on a time delay too, so. Okay, we got one more question. Okay, got a couple of people here. Walter says, you think Christopher Bell works today? I think he works enough to have like 15, 20%. I mean, he's fine. He's a decent PD play. CS says it's okay. I think a lot of people are tired of MLB DFS and random postponements or cancellations, not the content. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly the postponements and the weather. It's tough for sure. And they've had a quick trigger finger to cancel games so far this season too, which sucks. Yep, good luck, everybody. I see everyone's kind of saying good luck. Oh, everyone's throwing their last questions in, okay. Okay, father and son's going to hate me, but brats or hot dogs, I really don't like either, to be honest. If I had to pick between the two, I'd say hot dog, but I honestly don't like either, to be honest. I like Bell. I think Bell's a fine play today, starting 23rd, decent PD play. I appreciate everyone watching. That donkey says, thanks for the help, Chris. You're welcome. No problem at all. Hunter says, if you don't drink, do you smoke? I don't do anything. I'm sorry. I just drink water and play Xbox all day. That's what I do. I don't do much. Let's see. Blaney or Boyer? I would say Blaney there. I think he's got more upside. Steven says, what a story for Jimmy to win the race tonight. That would be a big story, wouldn't it? I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, there's definitely a narrative for that. DFS-wise, I don't love it, but there's definitely a narrative for Jimmy to win tonight, for sure. Wes says, who's my pick to win? I'll say Hamlin. I think a sleeper would be MDB or Stenhouse, but like the chalk choice for me would be Hamlin. Okay, Dave says, would you rather fight 50 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? What in the world? Shoot, I don't know. 50 duck-sized horses. I would say the duck because I feel like ducks are nicer. I mean, I haven't really had many interactions with ducks, but I feel like they're going to be nicer to me than 50 horses. Because horses are pretty strong, even though they're duck-sized. I feel like 50 of them could certainly overtake me pretty quick, and plus they'll just stampede me. So I'll take the duck on. Hopefully I can just give them some bread, and it'll be nice to me. Brett says, where should we look for most accurate ownership numbers? I mean, I use Fantasy Cruncher. I don't know where else I'd look, to be honest. So I guess that's really the only thing we can get. So that's pretty much it. Jay says, that donkey says ducks are mean. Are they? I mean, I really don't know. I mean, they're kind of cute. Looking at them in the pond. But Thomas says, how much money to take a right hand from Mike Tyson? Oh gosh, man, I might die, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have a bony face. It'll probably hurt really bad. A lot of money. I mean, 10,000 probably not. Probably going to be more than that for sure. Wes says he'd rather kick 50 ducks than fight one giant duck. Wow. Oh, man. Okay, these are some interesting questions. I feel like many people checked out because we're talking about ducks and Mike Tyson now, but that's fine. Okay, I'm probably going to get out of here, guys. I do appreciate you guys watching. Someone asked how much Brendan gone. I mean, probably like 40-60% tonight's probably a good range. All right, appreciate everyone stopping by. This was a pretty fun chat. I like the questions at the end. Those are fun. And I'm going to head out of here. Enjoy the race. I got to update some MLB stuff. So enjoy the race tonight. Enjoy baseball. Enjoy UFC. Enjoy NBA. Whatever you guys do. So I'm going to check out. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great weekend. Oh, it didn't quit yet. That's awkward. Okay.